Welcome, everyone, to Ageless Balance. I'm Ron. It is time to stand up so we can get warmed up because it's cold here. It's really not cold here. We're supposed to be, we're in the 50s today. We're supposed to get up in the 60s coming up. So that's a good thing. So it's not all that cold here. It's just chillier than I'm used to. Bring the arms up, bring the legs up, knees right straight pointed in front of you. Going into that gait, that walking pattern. You're walking. Yes, you are. And you're talking. And up and up. Start bringing that leg up just a little bit higher. Arms up just a little bit more. Swinging, getting the shoulders warmed up, hips warmed up, knees, ankles, wrists, elbows, all that, and more. It's all that and more. Bring it up. Little bigger circles with the shoulders. Bring them up a little higher. Get into a full swing if you can, as big as is right for you at this point in time, right now, right here. And we got to stop and just keep the legs going. We're going to bring the heels up into a pedal. So just up and up, alternating heels. See if you can get up on the balls of the feet just for a second. As one comes up, the other's coming down, up and back. Bringing that heel up, get the arms going with it like you're getting into a run. You can go as fast as you want. Up to you. Whatever your legs and your body says is right, that's what you can do. And up, 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 up. We're going to go out to the side next. We're going to do a step jack. So stepping out, foot up, whoops, stepping out, arms up overhead, shoulders back. Got to get my balance first and bring it back in the middle. That's why we're practicing balance. It's why we're doing it, because I'm having problems with it. Step out over the top, roll the shoulders up and over, hands, arms, and bring it back into the middle. Pick the foot up, step it out, over the top, stretch it out, start going just a little bit faster, a little bit wider, getting those feet apart just a little bit more. Out, up and over, and bring it back. Other side, and in, out. We did the shoulders front to back. Now we're doing the shoulders side to side. Back a couple more times. We're going to go one more each side. Out and back, out and back. All right. Lower body. Leg around. Skaters, tap that toe. Remember, the hips don't turn. Legs do in the hip socket. Bring it around. Arms with it. Da, 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 da. Like that. And around. And a little bit more if you can. And step back. Find your balance as you step back. Hip hinge. So you've got the back straight as you do this. You're not leaning forward, not turning the hips. It's shoulders back, chest out. Reach. Stretch out the upper back. Stretch out the chest. And around and around and around. Bring it back to the middle. Right here. Right here. Arms out front. One arm right straight back. Keep the hips forward, torso forward. You're pointing right out in front of you. Bring that arm around as far back as you can. And bring it up to the middle. Other side, same thing. Stretch it out. Back, back, back. And bring it back to the middle again. Arms out to the side. We're going to come all the way across this time, taking that left arm, crossing the front of the body, across the torso. Just the arm comes across. Everything else stays forward. The shoulder's working. You're feeling the stretch through the shoulder, through the upper back. Elbow up. Tighten the fist up. Clench that fist. Bring the shoulder blades back and open up. Other side, same thing. Reach all the way across as far as you can. Get that arm over as far as you can. Bring the elbow up. Clench the fist. Tighten up. Bring the shoulder blades back. Chest is open. And roll the shoulders down. Roll the shoulders back. Little circles, getting to be bigger circles. Again, this is one your shoulders will dictate how big those circles can be. Try to get as much range of motion as you can through them. If you got a little stiffness in them, the more you can go, the better it'll feel. And going back the other way until you hurt it. So don't go that far. And back, bring them up and around, and relax. Into a stagger step, one foot in front of the other. Knee over the ankle on the front leg, butt out the back. Arms right straight out front. Pushing the butt out, getting a straight line from the tip of the fingers to the tailbone, and then pushing through that front foot, bringing it up overhead. Shoulder blades are back. You're right up between the legs here, and now a side bend, bringing that shoulder up and over, arm in an arc over the top of the head, and feel the stretch all the way down the torso. Bring it back up to the middle. Hold right there and come on down back in front. Again, knee is over the ankle on that front leg, and we're going to come around doing a rotation over that front leg. Keep the shoulders right straight out, elbows right straight out. And bring it back in. Other side, same thing. Stagger step first. Find your balance here, find your positioning, and then arms right straight out with the butt out. Feeling the stretch through the hamstrings. And bring the arms up over the top. Roll the shoulder blades back. And now a side bend on that other side. Bring it over, up and over and down. Stretch out the ribs, stretch out the torso. Bring it back up again. The obliques on the side of the torso. Back down in front. Palms together. Elbows up. Shoulders turn. And you go with it. Bring it back to center. Step it back. Grab onto the back of your chair. Going to do a bit of a stretch here. That's a bit of a stretch. Put the hands on the back of the chair. Come on down into a tabletop. Roll the shoulder blades back. Chest is out. Chin is up. Stretch is right back here from the above the knee to the buttocks. Down. Step it in. Roll the shoulder blades back. Open it up. Deep breath in. Exhale as you step back one more time. Going into that tabletop. Stretching out those muscles in the back of the upper leg. Down, down. May feel it in the stretch in the lower back as well. And step up. That felt so good, didn't it? All right. A couple more things we have to do. Not grabbing onto the chair, letting go of the chair, hands on the thighs. Just push the butt right straight back out. So keeping the shoulder blades back. Just drive the butt out. Again, you can hold onto the chair if you want, but we're not going all the way down in that tabletop. This is just pushing the butt out. Hold right in there. And back up again. So that was a warm up for us to go side to side so we can stretch out the inner thighs. So same thing, shoulders right straight down and push the butt back as far as it'll go, bending the one knee, other knee stays straight. Push up through that lead leg, coming back up to the top, center right there and push it back again. Down and back, down and back. And drive and bring it back up again. Shake that out, grab a drink of water. Stay standing. We're not going to the floor yet, or we're not going to the chair yet. We're not going to the floor at all. We're not going to the floor now. We're not going to go to the floor later. But you will need the back of the chair because we're going to do the lower body weight exercises for balance, stability, and gait. I'm sure there's a good acronym there, but I can't come up with it. First thing we're going to do, nice and easy, is just going into squat. So this is a good squat, not a bad squat. So a good squat or a bad squat. Pushing the butt back, chest is up. Knees go over the toes, over the foot, laces of the shoes, not past the toes. And then roll the hips. Work on pushing right straight back up again. This is how you should be lifting. Back down with the butt out. Shoulder blades are back. Roll the hips forward. Drive up through the heels, pushing right straight up. And don't lock the knees out when you come to the top. One more time. Take it down, down, down. Pushing the butt back. Roll the hips. And come on back up. The reason we have the chair, let's do it one more time. The reason we have the chair is that we want to keep the shoulder blades back, keep the chest open. Instead of letting ourselves fall forward, push on the back of that chair, push the shoulder blades back and down, and then roll and come back up. Again, just like that. Up on the balls of the feet, making sure you can feel the weight, the body on the knuckle of the great toe, behind the great toe. You're feeling that knuckle right on the floor, all the way across, inside to outside, and back down again. You want to try to keep that foot as flat as possible. Bring the heels up. Hold up nice and high. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out, maintaining your neutral position. And then back down. As you come down, feel those inner thighs working to hold that foot flat on the floor. And foot rests from the ball of the foot to the heel, inside to outside. Full surface contact from the ball of the foot to the heel. One more time, up. Working those calf muscles to lift and drop nice and slow. Take your time with it as you come down. Again, concentrate on keeping the feet flat and back down. We want to strengthen up the muscles on the inside of the outside of the legs for the knees, for the ankles, but also so that you have a nice, stable balance base underneath you. All right, we're going to start out with a little bit of a lunge. So out and back. Use the chair, keep your torso upright. What you're really looking to do here is on that lead leg, lift on the heel to the ball of the foot, bringing the toe up, pushing back, using that back leg, little bend in the knee to do the work so you can bring that other leg back and down. Stay on that same side, out and back. Out. This is how you walk. You pick up your foot. Heel comes up first on the ball of the foot. Forward, heel touches, ball of the foot. And then back again. Take it up. Step forward. Maybe go just a little bit deeper into that lunge if you can. Going on the ball of the foot on that back leg. And then push up and bring it back. Keep the torso upright. Work these core muscles. Out. And back up. Out. Heel toe. And back in, last one. Heel comes up first, ball of the foot, stepping forward on the heel to the ball. Pushing back up and back. Going to the other side, same thing. Step forward and step back. We're using the chair to keep the torso upright. Also to help you as you come back, as you push up through that back leg. Using the chair to help balance you. Give a little pressure with the hand if you need it to help it out. Up and back. Getting a feel for what it's like. Stationary leg. Foot is still flat on the floor, always concentrating on that. Out and back. We're practicing the beginning of a gait, of start of walking. Back, out, a little lower, and back up. 2 more times. Out, and bring it back. Last one. Stepping out, and bringing it back. Toe raise. When I say toe, I mean everything. Front of the heel comes up off the floor. Keep the shoulder blades back. What you don't want to do is kick the butt out and shift your weight. You want to stay in the middle. This is where your balance is. If you start to fall backwards, you got to get those feet down on the floor quickly and bring yourself to a standing position. We can do that if we pick the toes up and get used to that feeling of being back on the heels. The other thing you need this for is when you're walking upstairs, to lift the toe up as you go climbing the stairs back down so that you don't trip on the toe. Actually, anytime you're walking, to keep the toe high so that you're not dragging it along the ground, or if you have to step up over something, that you don't trip as you get bringing the foot up over and back down. Working these muscles in the front of the shins, the front of the lower legs, strengthening them up, pull and back down. A couple more times, bring it up. Little bend in the knees, don't lock them out. Always, always, always have just a little bit of bend in that knee. And back down. One more. You should be feeling this in the front, from the ankle all the way up to the knee. Up to below the knee. And back down again. Whew. All right. We did the fronts. We did the backs of the lower legs. We're going to do the upper legs. Hamstrings first. Take the foot, driving the knee down towards the floor, keeping it pointed right straight down, lifting the toe or the heel up, the other end of the toe, and back down. Up, heel to the butt is what I was trying to say. Stationary foot, don't forget, flat on the floor, foot is solidly planted, little bend in the knee, and back down. If you straighten that joint out, the joint is having to hold your entire body weight up instead of the muscles doing the work. Muscles are meant to do that. Joints are not. Knee to the floor, heel up to the butt, hold for a second, squeeze, and then drop back down again a couple more times. Don't let the knee come forward. Get up in that chair if you need to make sure that that knee stays back right next to the other leg, thighs parallel, and back down one more time. Bring it up. Nice and slow. Back down again. Other side, same thing. You're going to feel all kinds of work going on in the stationary leg. Even though you're picking that in this case, the right leg up. The left leg is having to hold you upright and back down. Lean on the chair as much as you need it, but try to make the core do a lot of the work so that you're standing over that stationary leg. That's your base of support, that one leg. You want to be right up over the middle of it. And back down, tightening up those core muscles, bringing you over that leg as you bring the other knee or the other heel up. And back down, feel the glutes working, feel the muscles on the outside of the hip working on that stationary leg. Out, back, and down. One more time. Bring that heel up and back, down again. All right. Those are the hamstrings. Outsides of the thighs. So we did the quadriceps. First ones we did were those squats that worked the quadriceps. We worked our way down in the calf muscles, and then the shins, and then the hamstrings. Now we're going to work to the outside of the hips. So getting upright, find yourself in your position, feet shoulder width apart. You're going to lift one leg out to the side, toe pointed forward, legs right next to each other in the same plane, up and back down. Concentrate on the stationary leg, little bend in the knee, foot flat on the floor, torso upright, right over that stationary leg. You're going to feel the muscles working on the outside of the hip, on the leg you're lifting. Those muscles are lifting on that side. The other side is working to hold that hip in place as you lift that other leg to keep you upright. These are your stability muscles. When you walk, as we get older, those muscles get weak and the hips go back and forth as we walk. When that happens, that is putting all sorts of stress on the hips, the knees, and the ankles, and we run into all sorts of joint problems. We've got to be able to have the muscles strong from the hips all the way down to the feet so that when you walk, you don't have to think about making sure that everything's in alignment. It just will be. You're strengthening up the muscles to put the joints in alignment. And back down a couple more times. Bring it up and out. Back down one more time. Bring it up and back in again. Other side, same thing. The other thing you want to watch for when you're walking too is be really careful. A lot of times foot likes to kind of curl out to the side. Some muscles shorten up, they tighten up. Some muscles are a little loose, more loose than the others. And what happens is the foot will kind of roll out to the outside. That is a killer for the knee. You want to try to think about getting that foot straight with the knee, with the hip when you walk. So every once in a while, look down to make sure that the toes are pointing right out in front of you. All right, here we go. Other side. Toe forward, almost leading with the heel. Bring it up. Don't lean into the chair like I was. Don't do that. And back down. Stationary leg, flat on the floor. Foot flat on the floor. Knee little bend. Did I mention that before? Bring it back in. Up. Squeeze those muscles. Make those muscles work on the outside of the hips. It is up to you as you bring it up to tighten those muscles up. Make it work even more and back down. You want to feel this in the glutes, right on the outside of the butt there on the side, along with the outside of the hip. Bring it up. And the other hip. Put flat on the floor. And back down. So we're really working the muscles on the inside and the outside of the leg, the hips. Out. And back in a couple more times. Up. And back down, thinking about that stationary leg, foot flat on the floor. Up. Get right over the top of it. And back, down. All right, last set of muscles we're going to work. The glutes, right in the middle, in the back of the butt. Lifting the leg behind us. Little bend in the knee. Don't hinge at the knee. This is taking the muscles. Muscles contract. We're shortening the muscles up in the butt. Those glutes tighten up, lifting the leg up as they shorten, and then back down again. Hold for a count. So stationary leg, if I haven't mentioned that, make sure that it's straight, make sure you're over the top of it. Little bend in the knee, foot flat on the floor. And back down. Muscles working are those muscles in the butt. Up. Again, these are walking muscles. When you pick the foot up and you bring it back, that's using these glutes to control that action, to lift that leg a little bit higher. Up so you're not scraping your foot on the floor, the bottom of the foot on the floor. Up. Squeeze that muscle back there. Feel those glutes really tighten up. Abs, glutes of steel. glutes of steel. Up and back down one more time. Bring it up and back down. Going to the other side, then we will sit down, I promise, because my hips are super tired right now. All right, here we go. Leg, little bend in the knee, tap the toe, and then lift the leg up. Don't let yourself bend forward. It's super easy to let your torso come forward as you pick the leg up. Don't let that happen. Only bring that leg up as high as it can come with the torso upright over that stationary leg and back down. If you can get away with doing it with one hand, perfect. Hold yourself up, working those core muscles. Keep the hips parallel to the floor. Up. The more we can tighten up these muscles, the tighter we can get them and the stronger we can get them through the hips. The more it's going to protect us when we're walking, when we're standing, even just standing. Up and back. Hold it. And back down a couple more times. Bring that leg back. Squeezing those muscles in the glutes. The glute muscles in the butt. There we go. And back down one more time. Up. Squeeze. And back down again. Grab a drink of water. Let's go to the floor or go to the chair. Man, I want us to do the floor. Ooh. My hips feel that. Hopefully yours do too. So the next thing we want to work on our gait is our ankles, strengthening them up and making them more flexible. So we're going to take, and just from a seated position, toes up and back down, up and back down, and also bringing the heels up. So a couple times, heels up off the floor and back down, again, up and back down. So what I'd like you to do is bring the toes up off the floor. You're on the heels. Bring the foot down, hitting the ball of the foot, and then bringing the heels up. Stop there. Don't roll. Don't just swing back and forth. Slowly drop the heels down, bringing the toes up. Take your time with this. Be in control of all of the movement. Gravity is not doing the work for you. It shouldn't be. Down. In fact, you're fighting gravity, not letting it go as fast as it wants to go. And down and heel up. Very slow movement. I don't do heel toe a lot because it gets into a really bad habit of just rocking back and forth instead of controlling the movement. It's heel down, toe up, 2 movements, and then toe down, heel up. But this is the gait pattern. You need to be able to have this type of flexibility in the ankle so that when you walk, you can bring that heel up, you can get that toe up so you don't trip, so you don't drag the foot on the floor. All right, toes in, toes out. Not letting the knees go out with it, so it's not toes out and the knees go out and point in the same direction. It is knees stay right in alignment with the hips, and all you do is you roll from the ankles out and back in again. Out. Feel the muscles in the outside of the legs, outside of the ankles work to bring them out and back in. Again, you need this flexibility. If for any reason you stub that toe, it gets hooked up on something. I know hiking, I get that with roots in the ground. I'll catch a root and the foot will just stay there. You've got to have the strength in that ankle to be able to lift you back again, bring you back to center. Out. That ankle has to have flexibility so you don't trip, you don't sprain it, you don't break it. And the less it can move, the more likely you are to fall down. The more it can move, the more ability you have to get yourself back upright again instead of just falling over because the ankle won't bend. Out. And back in again. All right. All right. All right. In and out. Big movement. Get that toe back as far as you can. Feel the stretch in the calf muscle. Bring it back. And then point it out as far as you can. Lots of range of motion here. Out and back in. Keep the knee bent just a little bit. Don't lock it out. You want to feel the stretch in the back of the leg. And then as the toe goes out, stretches in the front, calf muscles are pulling that heel in. Out with the heel, out with the toe, out with the heel, out with the toe, and now circles. Circles one way, then the other. You put the foot on the floor if you want as you do these, and just roll it around. All we're trying to get is flexibility through those muscles, through that joint, get some fluid in there, get it moving like it should be, opposite direction, roll it around. Think about it. Everything that keeps you upright starts with your feet. Ankles are a huge piece of that, keeping the rest of the body upright above it. If the ankles can't support you, all the weight from the ankles up to the top of the head is just, that's weight that's going to take you in a motion. It's going to give you momentum going where you don't want to go. Other side, same thing. Out and back in. So the stronger the ankles are, the more flexible they are, the more your core has a chance to do what it's supposed to do in the muscles in the legs. Without a solid base, that's not going to happen. That's why the feet have to be flat on the floor. It starts there. Shoes should not be worn out on one side or have half the heel worn out. Make sure that you've got a nice flat surface underneath that foot in through the shoes. And back up, toe out, and toe in, rotate, circles, one way, and back again. And down. Check that out. I'm going to have another drink of water and do a couple things. We're going to work the upper body now a little bit. We will still be using the lower body with the upper body, but let's get a little muscle movement going on up top. We haven't done that yet. First thing we're going to do is just nice and easy, palms facing in, bring the arms up, tap the shoulders, bring the elbows up, stretch it out. Elbows come down to the sides, and arms come right straight down. Again, palms up, keep the elbows right next to the torso, elbows pointing down to the floor. So you always have that alignment of the shoulders and the elbows, and then up in front. Again, elbows are in, not flared out. You want to have elbows, shoulders in alignment, and back down, and back down. Two more times. Up, forward, down, and bring the hands down. One more time. Bring the hands up to the shoulders, elbows up, right straight out in front of you, elbows in. Get them up as high as you can. Don't lean forward. Don't roll the back to get the elbows up higher. Go as high as you can. Get the stretch through the chest and the upper arms back down and down. I'm going to go to just a curl. So just arm up, alternating as if you were walking. Elbow up or hand up, hand up. We're going to bring the opposite leg up as we bring the foot up. So it's up and kick and back in, other side, up and up. Hand comes up, knee comes up, and the foot kicks out and out. Get used to the pattern. Now we're going to take an arm out as we lift the leg. Kick and kick all the way up, out and out. Bring the arm up overhead, up. So we work those shoulders a little bit at a time, starting with the small movements, very small movements, got a little bigger. So we were going all the way up or as high as we can. Also using the leg, arm and leg working together, upper and lower body working up and bring it down. Working together, fluid movement. When you walk, make sure your arms are swinging. As you walk, we have this tendency to just let the arms hang down by the side, which is something we never do. When we were younger, we never did that. As we get older, the arms just kind of hang down there. Don't let that happen. You need the arms for balance. What are we doing next? Oh, yeah. Okay. Same thing, but to the side. Starting out, leg out and in, out and in. Working the outside of the hips. Bring it out. Bring it in. Toe forward and back. Out, in, out, and in. Arms by your side. Elbows bent at a 90-degree angle. Elbows up. And elbows down. Elbows come up. Elbows go back down again. So as you bring the leg out to the side on one side, arm comes up on the other, and back in. Cross body works the brain, helps it to rewire, gets those neurotransmitters working so that you have quick reaction time. And back in. That's another thing that slows as we get older, a reaction time, being able to adjust quickly when something happens. Out and in. We need to rewire those circuitry so that it fires quickly so that you can make fast movements. That is one thing I noticed when I started working out about 10 years ago, is that my reaction time was slowing and it picked up considerably. Out and in, out and in, arms down. For example, something on the shelf. As it falls, instead of, I would like watch it start to fall and then like reach up at where it was. And it's like, well, it was stupid. As my reaction times got better, I was able to just get my hand down. I could see it falling. I thought fast, put my hand underneath and caught it before it hit the floor. So it's like, it's those kinds of things that start to improve as you get the fine motor muscles working well. All right, next one. Next one, arms out to the side. Right there, elbows against the torso, hands right straight out. We're just going to bring them up and back down again. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Squeeze it and bring it up. Hold right there and bring it back down. This time, as you get the upper arms parallel with the floor, we're going to go into a shoulders glide, bringing the hands up overhead, bringing the hands down. You can do this against a wall. Put your head against the back of the wall, or again, back of your head against the wall, rolling the arms down, back of the arms along the wall, coming down, coming back up, reaching over the top, and back down, getting full range of motion through the shoulders, down, up at the shoulders, and now raising the hands up overhead, back down, 90 degree at the elbow, and then bring them back in and down. Lower body, excuse me. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Grab onto the bottom or the back of the chair, but make sure you're out at the edge of the chair. We're going to take one leg and just lift and back down again. Keep the torso straight. So what happens with this one, leg is a little heavy. You kind of lean forward into it to help it come up. It's not going to work. You need to keep the shoulder blades back. Leaning into that, lifting the leg is just putting all sorts of stress on the lower back. Shoulder blades back, chest is out. Lift and back down, up and back. Really, you don't have to bring the leg up high. It's just getting it up off the floor, keeping your torso in alignment, getting that neutral posture, ears over shoulders over hips, up and back down. First couple a little hard. After you do it a few times, it gets a little easier. Elbows up. We're going to go up with the arms in that wall glide and back down. Up and back down. As you lift the leg, bring the arms up. Keep those shoulder blades back nice and tight. That's going to protect the lower back. Up, down, hinging at the hip, not the knee. And back down, up, and back, down. Next, we're going to bring the arms back up to the sides again, but this time we're going to bring them forward. Take it nice and easy, bringing the elbows forward, keeping the shoulder blades back. Stop when you get to that point where you can't hold the shoulder blades back in their position anymore, and then roll just the shoulders forward, not letting the chin come to the chest as you do it. This is just bringing the shoulders forward and then back again, squeezing the shoulder blades together. We're stretching out that upper back when we bring the elbows together, and we're working those muscles underneath the neck, at the base of the neck, as we bring the shoulders back. So it's forward. If you're bringing the chin down and leaning into it so that you can get your elbows together, you're really not doing anything. The muscles aren't having to work there. You're stretching them when you keep the shoulder blades back. Out. Chest is out. Shoulder blades together. Bring it all back in the middle. Together. And back out again. Couple more times. In. And out. Last one. In. And back out. Give the arms a break. We're going back to the lower body. Actually, we're going to go to the core for this one. Taking the hips. We're going to hips underneath shoulders, underneath the ears. We're going to take and roll the shoulder blades back as far as they'll go, putting a lot of curve in that lower back, as much as you can get. Palms face out as you bring the shoulder blades together and put that arch in the lower part of the back, and then release it. Arms, shoulders fall right underneath the ears. They don't go forward. Don't let yourself roll forward. Keep those muscles strong in the back. Again, bring the shoulder blades back. Hyperextend the back. Curve in the lower part of the back and release. One more time. Bring it up. Bring it back. Shoulder blades together. Looking right straight out in front of you. Chin is up. Deep breath in. Exhale. As you bring the arms back down again to the sides. If you want to know how close you are to being in good posture, when you're standing, look at yourself in the mirror sometime. Palms should be facing in, thumbs to the in front, pointing in front of you. If the back of your hands are pointed out in front of you, chest muscles are tight. That's what happens when the shoulders are rolling forward, chin's coming down, and you've got that upper body crouch going on. Palms should be in, not facing behind you. So you can really get a good read on your posture if you see the palms facing backwards, back of the hands facing forward. It's a good self-check. All right, next one. We're going to take and do toe taps. Coming up on the balls of the feet, lift the leg up and back down nice and slow. Up. Hip flexors. First thing we do when we walk, we pick the heel up and then we lift the leg up using these hip flexors. Up. Calf muscles lift the heels. Hip flexors lift the leg. They contract, shortening up, bringing that foot up and up. Nice and slow, taking your time. Toes pointed forward. Everything's in alignment. Up and up. As you touch the floor, it should be just so gentle. And then back on the other side and back down nice and slow. So you're exaggerating your steps, but when you do the walking, when you get into your gait pattern, you're taking a walk, this will become very natural. Not necessarily exactly like this, but that nice light tap. You'll have to strengthen the muscles to control what that leg is doing instead of it plopping down on the floor or the ground. Up, up, and we're good. Grab onto the back of the leg, going into a knee extension. Out and back in. I knew it had a name. So now we're hitting the quads one more time. The quadriceps, front of the thighs. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Bring that leg up. Again, leg doesn't have to come up very high. Doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're tightening these muscles in the front of the thigh, tightening them up to bring that leg up, and then releasing back down. By holding on the back of the thigh, the great thing with that is you can roll your shoulder blades back and chest out. It's really going to limit how high that foot can come up. That's okay. Bring the toe in, stretch out those calf muscles, and back down. So you're flexing the foot, out with the heel, and back in one more time. Out, hold, and back in. Other leg. Toe in, shoulder blades back, fingers intertwined behind the thigh, and bring it up. And back down again. If this is a problem, you can use anything underneath that leg. You can use a towel, a belt. Up and back down. You can't use spaghetti. It won't hold up. It'll break. Whether it's cooked or not, it'll still break. And back down. Just not thick enough. Unless you braid a bunch of them together. Okay, I'm done with that. Shoulders back, chest out. Up and back down. Feel the front of the thigh working. Up and down. Couple more times. You stop at the top, squeeze that muscle before you come back down. Let the leg just drop down or stop it as it gets to the heel towards the floor. Bring it back up. You're controlling it up. You're stopping it completely and then controlling it back down again and drop the leg down. All right, let's go into a rotation. It's time to stretch. Left hand outside the right knee, right hand on the back of the chair or underneath the chair or wherever. Whatever's right for you. Shoulders straight. This is the important piece. The shoulders are turning. Notice hips stay right straight forward as I bring the body around. And the other thing that's not happening is one shoulder is not reaching across. The shoulder girdle is moving as one unit, right straight across, using that hand on the back to give myself just a little bit of leverage to bring that shoulder back. Chest is out, chin is up, shoulder blades are back. And bring it back. Nice little crunches going on in my back. Good ones, good ones. Other hand outside, hand on the back of the chair, shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Rotate. Again, you're not a corkscrew. You're not trying to turn yourself all the way around. You're not doing the hokey pokey here. Bring it around. Just turn as much as is comfortable for you. Feel the stretch in the back. And then release. If you ever feel it going into the lower back, stop. In the name of what's right. Don't get hurt. Fingers intertwined, palms to the ceiling. Shoulder blades back. We're not here to get you hurt. Okay. Check your lower body. Is it in alignment? Do you have the knees and the toes and the hips all pointing in the same direction? If yes, let's move on. Down on the side. Roll the shoulder up and over. If not, get in alignment, then meet us here. Come back up in the center. Other side, same thing. Remember, again, no stretch is occurring if you're leaning out to the side, bringing that hip or that seat bone off the seat. Sits bones stay right flat on the chair. You're bringing the shoulder up and over. Stretching out the muscles on the outside of the torso through the ribs. Bring the arms down behind you. Grab onto the back of the chair, bringing the chest out, shoulder blades back. Deep breath in through the nose. Roll the shoulder blades back just a little bit more. Drive them down towards the hip. Pull them down. And then exhale as you come forward, rolling the shoulders toward the front, making this big old bowl right out in front, getting a nice arc in the lower or in the back of the back. And reach behind. Roll the shoulder blades back, chest out. Deep breath in, push it into the stomach, and then drive the shoulders forward, exhaling as you come. And bring it back to center. Shake that out. Feet about shoulder width apart, toes forward. Hands on the thighs, going to do a push-up here. Bring it down, chest up, chin out, looking in front of you. As you come down, feeling the stretch in the lower back. Deep breath in, exhale, come down just a little bit more. Taking your hands, pushing off the thighs to come back up again. Don't use the lower back to do that with. Legs out just a little bit wider. One more time, down between. Right down the middle between the thighs. Stretch you go down into the hamstrings on this one, and then push off the thighs. Shoulder blades are back, protecting the back. Coming back up again. 2 times, arms up overhead. Deep breath in. Little bend in the elbows. In through the nose, forcing the stomach out, driving the air down into the lungs, and exhale. One more time, up overhead. Shoulder blades are back, chest is out. Deep breath in through the nose as you bring the arms up. Forcing the stomach out, and exhale nice and slow as you bring the arms down, rolling them around, forward and back as you come down. Circles, little half moons, whatever you want. We're good. We're done. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. I will see you on Friday. We will be back.